Hey, it's Kyle Daniel, and you're watching Loud TV.
Nice to meet you, Kyle.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome on Loud TV.
Oh man, thanks for having me.
It's a wonderful day.
Yeah,
really
beautiful
bright,
outside,
sunny.
yeah. Oh man, feels awesome.
Like Kentucky, right?
Yeah, Kentucky's a little bit hotter right now, I'll be honest. You walk outside and you just instantly start sweating, but yeah, it's very nice.
How's your European trip, by the way?
Man, it's been unbelievable. You know, we started in Glasgow, Scotland, and then we went to Birmingham. Then we did the Cologne Sound of Nashville Open Air Festival, which was a quick turnaround to come back to play the Long Road Festival, where we played twice. And man, that was the second time I played the Long Road Festival, and to look out and see the sea of people that were just showed up for both of my sets was unbelievable. It made me feel like I had really created something over in the UK, and so it's nice, man. The acceptance has been just overwhelming, to be honest.
Great. What's the most, if we say UK is in Europe, what's the most surprising thing for you as an artist in Europe or in the UK?
Just, I think the audience respect level, you know, they're zoned in, you know, that they're not worried about who's texting or, you know, who's at the show or, you know, trying to film or do whatever. They're zoned in. They're there for the music, and it really feels nice to have that kind of attention. That it's not deterred by something else, you know.
Do you know that many bands, they are afraid of phones live, and most of the time people, they don't get the artist, they get their phones, you know.
Right.
They see the artist through the phone.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I think we live in that kind of world, you know, like, let's face it, we're all attached to our cell phone. And that's fine to an extent, but I think that the respect that you get when you come over from the fans is just the love and acceptance and everything is unbeatable.
And music, of course, is the stage, and you know, the way you feel the artist, the way the artist feel the crowd, and it's like a real exchange.
It is. There's an energy exchange every night, you know, and it changes. I think that every crowd's different, but I definitely feel like there's the common thread is everybody's there for the music here, you know, that it's not who am I going to see at the show tonight, or, you know, who can get me backstage, or who, you know, that there's no ulterior motive for anybody. It's all about the music, so that's great.
So what about music? Tell us more about your story. You got music in your blood, in your veins.
Yeah, man.
Your parents are musicians, right?
Yeah, my dad kind of, when my mom was pregnant with me, my dad started, by the Murphy method, they had cassette tapes, learned how to play banjo. And so he would play to my mom's stomach, and supposedly there were certain songs that I would kick to that I was more, you know, apt to going wild over. And so I think that, you know, between that and my brother was a drummer, and so every, you know, young boy that has an older brother wants to be like their older brother or their dad, and so you know, it just kind of fell into place with me. I played all kinds of instruments, and finally settled on guitar, and that was what really felt right.
They've released 2 EPs, right?
Yeah.
Of course, country, rock. Yeah, what are your real roots?
You know, I started early on with blues. That was something that hit me, of course, as a young guitar player. Wanted to be Stevie Ray Vaughan, because I felt like, man, what a primal guitar player. You know, he just brought such a ferocity to what he did, and I was instantly drawn to that. And dudes like Johnny Lang and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and then, you know, kind of as I got older and got deeper into playing guitar, it was, you know, the Led Zeppelins, the AC/DCs, the Allman Brothers, the Skinnards, you know, those kind of dudes.
Def Leppard.
Yeah, Def Leppard, you know, and you know, it was. I feel like I had like a melting pot of influences, really, to be honest. And I think that that's what makes my music unique. That it's very, very Kyle Daniels centric, you know, in that I try to span all of my influences I can, you know, because it's just it becomes part of your DNA at that point, you know.
But when you can hear the album, yeah, we can feel the southern style.
Yeah.
Maybe you saw the T-shirt of Olivier, Blackstone Cherry.
Oh yeah.
I love this band, you know.
Yeah, they're good buddies of mine. I grew up 15 miles from those dudes. Like, they were right up the road, and so known them a long, long time. And man, what a success story they've been for Kentucky.
It's funny because on your song Southern Sounds, it reminds me a song of Blackstone Cherry.
Ah.
And so it's not metal, you know, you have not the same sound, but the same kind of melody sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I think it's there's definitely something in the water in Kentucky, you know, and around South Central Kentucky, you know. Cage the Elephant came out of Bowling Green, and although wildly different, you know, I still think that there's a common thread with our styles of music, you know, and I think that it's just the honesty and the realness, and I think that songs like Ain't No Rest for the Wicked kind of show that, like, conglomeration of all of the influences around the area that kind of shaped all of us, really.
It's funny because when I got several interviews with them, maybe all the members, and you know, like you know, Kentucky guys are fucking cool, you know. It's like yeah, like real friendship, you know. It's real cool people, you know.
We try, man. I think that, and I think that that's the one thing that sets us apart from Nashville, is because a lot of times, you know, let's face it, I mean, it's the music business. It's show business. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and I think that for us, there wasn't a whole lot to do around the area, so it was more so learning to perfect your craft. You know, that you play your instrument, you write your songs, you live your life, and you feel the things that mean the most, and just try to be as honest and authentic as you can, and not some big, you know, act, so to speak, you know, but it just tries to be real.
So 5 years since your last EP.
Yeah.
What was in the corner for you? And
you know, because obviously COVID happened, and I think this record, we cut it in October of 2020, and the initial idea was to get it out as quick as possible. But then there started to be, you know, some hang-ups with trying to find personnel and people to help promote it, to build it up, to kind of bring it to the world, and it took a little longer than expected, but I'm glad that I waited, you know, because I think that it inevitably paid off, you know.
This is the less cool thing about music business, right? To wait until the release.
Yeah, the absolute last cool thing.
But yeah, you are here, and no one can hold you back, man.
Yeah.
Any challenge in studio with Mac Crompras?
I recorded Can't Hold Me Back with Michael. And we actually co-wrote that song with Clay Mills. And it was a conglomerate record, you know. I cut most of it in Muscle Shoals. Then I did a session with Jaron Johnston from the Cadillac 3. Then, Michael did the first single, Can't Hold Me Back, off the record. And that was a really cool experience for sure.
So many guests on this album.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of buddies.
This is
a lot
the
of
Kentucky
buddies.
friendship.
Yeah, I felt like it was my debut record. I had to call on all my buddies that made sense and highlight them as well.
Did you record also on the last song there is a piano? Mm-hmm. Did you record everything?
I did not. No, not me personally. I had an all-star group of musicians from Nashville that, man, they just couldn't ask for a better crew of dudes to get in the studio with, because they really helped kind of shape the sound and shape the songs. That they're all pro players. They've all done it for years and years, and so it was a collaborative effort for all of us, really.
Are they part of the live crew?
No, they're not. They all have other gigs, like the guitar player plays for Marcus King, the drummer plays for Justin Moore, the bass player plays with like Robert Randolph and different people. So they've all got big gigs, and I was fortunate to have them in the studio though.
So who are the guys with you on stage?
So the dudes currently, Carl Vagander is on drums. He played with me in 2019, and he is Swedish. He brought along his Swedish buddy Daniel Rydholm on guitar. Pete Daines is on bass, and Chris Bergam on keys. So, man, stellar live group. We've been hitting them hard the past couple of weeks, so it's nice to have that kind of like really pro sounding band when you come over.
You wrote the lyrics, right? All the lyrics. I feel you're kind of inspired by nature. You use like terms like rain, hurricane, woods. Are you very impressed and inspired by nature?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you grow up in Kentucky, you can't help but not be inspired by nature. It's such a beautiful place, and I find a lot of correlation with those kind of naturistic things to just emotion. That like obviously following the rain, having that kind of depressing. Nobody likes to get stuck in the rain, and so. Given the elements, trying to tie those into human feelings, I would say I definitely try to stay as rooted as I possibly can in nature, and anytime I can be outside, I love to do so.
If it's not raining.
If it's not raining, exactly. As long as it's covered, I can stay outside. If I'm covered, I'm fine.
So what's the Kentucky Gold, by the way?
Man, I felt like Kentucky Gold, this was very much so like digging for gold, trying to write these songs and get this project up off the ground. As a newcomer, I felt like these were the best of the best that I had, and so I felt like it was appropriate for me to title the record that. I'm proud to be from Kentucky, and definitely wanted to highlight that as well.
What about live?
Live, I think the thing for me is just making sure that I keep my voice in tip-top shape. That it's a lot of singing, and a lot of serious singing. So for me, it's like that's I wouldn't call it a hurdle, but it's something that I'm very mindful of. So lots of vitamin C, lots of water, lots of throat sprays and cough drops and things of that nature. But I think that's kind of become one of my staple things. So losing your voice in the middle of a tour is a no-no, and you know, I think that's kind of been one of my biggest things to make sure I keep intact live. You know.
So what the future holds for you, man? Have you any idea of new songs or?
Yeah, I've got some that didn't make the record that I feel strong about. I've got some new ones that I've been working on and some stuff. You know, it's always a growing process. It's like it's always a, you know, you're constantly creating, you're constantly living, seeing. I've you know, got a notepad on my phone that has tons of different ideas and titles and things of that nature. So I think, you know, for me, it's like I've learned to not really have expectations for what is to come, and to just kind of let it come as it happens. And so for me, musically, obviously you have to be proactive and you have to write and you have to continue to create and do things. So I think just keeping my head down and keep swinging is what's ahead, you know.
Will we have the chance to see you live in France, maybe?
Man, I hope so. I hope so. With the acceptance that that has been over here, it's I think it's inevitable, and hopefully maybe at the head of next year, get over and really go after it.